religious organizations need to realize that they are killing their kids. They're quite literally killing their kids. I am a living example of near that point. And so if I can do any, I mean, I'm a very heavy supporter of the Trevor Project. Like, anything that I can do to stop this is, this story needs to be told. Anyway, so going on. Okay, so first day I told you, Dad blew up, went to the emergency room, and of course, we were in a mission compound, so I had fallen down the stairs. And of course, they're missionary doctors. They're going to listen to my parents, whatever. I screamed, because I was terrified, going, why is my dad doing this? I'm trying to get away, and they're like, you know, you hit your head too hard. I loved that one. I've been told that like 6 times, because again, like I told you, my dad put me in the emergency room 7 times. Like, you would think by the 7th time they would think I'm an either absolute klutz, or something's wrong, or they just were, you know, we're not noticing this. This isn't happening, kind of a thing. So anyway, after the seventh time, Dad realized that, guess what? Hitting your son is not going to make him not gay. Imagine that. So Mom's like, oh, we can take him to therapy, which I honestly, at this point, therapy sounded great. Like, I had more bruises on my face than I could count. Like, I was done. And so we went to therapy. I hate that room so badly. It was this quaint little, you know, of course you've got like 7 Bibles at on the coffee table. You walked into the room and there's like bright yellow everywhere. It's this lovely lush couch. I'm so excited. I'm like, oh yes, this is great. You know, if this makes it all better, then I'll take this over Dad. And then then the mind game started. He sat down. He's like, oh, you know, Sam, I'm so glad you came here. I was like, I'm glad I came here too. You know, I'm, again, naive kid, like, this is gonna be so much better. He's like, now you realize that you are one of the most vile people on the earth, right? And I'm a 10-year-old girl, and I looked at him, I was like, no? I was just confused, like, vile? First of all, I was really confused about the word vile, but he's like, there is no possibility that anyone who truly knows who you are will ever want to speak to you again. And that's for about an hour, for like 6 weeks now, is just constant, you're evil, and just not how to fix it, just, this is everything that could possibly ever be wrong with you. Of course, then, like by the 6th or 7th week, he brought in AIDS, which terrified me to death. He's like, you already have AIDS because you're gay. And he of course, he tells me all of the horrible things that happen to people with AIDS. And I'm looking at him going, oh my God, like, I'm crying I'm running to my mom after the session, and she holds me out. She's like, this is what it's gonna be like. I'm just sobbing, going like, I'm gonna die of AIDS already. I haven't done it, Mom, I'm 10. Like, what in the world's going on? I don't understand. By the time this happens for months, I guess, on end. It's changed to, I mean, I was in therapy for like 2 or 3 years. It was the worst 2 or 3 years of my life. The first year ended with pretty much, we've gotten past that I'm an evil, demonic being who's going to die of AIDS, but guess what? If you change and become straight like everyone else, none of this is gonna happen. AIDS is instantaneously gonna leave your body, and you know, God is going to bless you, and you're gonna become a perfect person. And I was like, well then, duh. And I just looked at him, I was like, well fine, I'm straight. And I looked at him like that simple. And he's like, now Sam, do you still like guys? I was like, yeah, I can't wait, you know, and I didn't understand these old terms. He's like, well then of course you haven't translated, and we go through. The second year is what will be labeled in my biography as, or autobiography, whatever, something biography, as the year of hell. Quite literal year of hell. In January, we started with ice. He would take and put ice cubes in my hand, and I had to hold them like this, and he would just keep putting ice cubes in, and of course, in front of me were pictures of 2 men hugging. Of course, we hadn't gotten to the bad part yet. This was just 2 men hugging, or 2 men holding hands. And it was, you know, I was supposed to associate cold, bad, you know, this is not good. I still hate ice. I drink it in drinks, but I still hate. Like, I will never eat ice cream, probably. Never gonna happen. Then that happened for about a month and a half. Of course, you gotta remember this is like once every 2 weeks. So it's not too terrible. You know, that sounded really stupid coming out of my mouth just now. But anyway, it wasn't. In my mind, like, I had a week off. It was great every once in a while. Of course, I was a homeschooler, so I stayed in my room 24/7. You were not allowed to talk to other people because what if they found out? Oh, the more threats my dad gave, if anyone ever found out, he would know that only he and my mom knew. I mean, there was 3 people who knew this secret, and if anyone else ever found out, I mean, the hatred in his eyes, he said, you will never speak again. I was like, what is that? Like, how do you not speak? Like, I'm a now 12-year-old. I was going, this is crap. This is really, really crap. Anyway, so about mid-year now, I would say, probably about mid-year, we got to electricity. And that's why it's the year of hell. Literally, you can barely see them now, but it was needles inserted into the fingers. And then every single time a picture of a naked man would come up, it would be just shock. He would literally just shock me. Of course, whenever a picture of a woman would come up, nothing would happen. A picture of a man would come up, and I would get shocked. The one thing I cannot understand is how in the world my mother could sit in the conference room and hear her child scream and not do something. I screamed so loud. I'm not gonna cry. Whew. I hated that man so badly. I hated who I was. I hated men in general. I would literally not look at guys when I was walking down the street whenever my mom would take me to the library or something, because I was so scared that if I actually looked at a real person, I would still hurt.